Ever wondered how the websites you visit every day get built? Who creates them? How they work? These questions are more common than you might think, and the answer lies in the fascinating world of web development. Web development is the engine room of the internet, powering everything from your favorite blog to the most complex online platforms. Web developers are the architects and builders of the online world. They use a variety of coding languages to create websites, making sure they're functional, user-friendly, and visually pleasing. They're the unsung heroes who ensure that the internet remains a vibrant, dynamic place to learn, shop, work, and play. So why is web development important? Well, in today's digital age, a website is often a company's first impression. A well-designed website can attract and retain customers, making web development a critical component in any successful business strategy. So, if you're interested in learning how to build a website, you're in the right place. Before you start to build a website, you need to understand the basics. So let's break it down. First, there's HTML, or hypertext markup language. It's the backbone of any web page, providing the structure and content. Picture it as the skeleton of your website, where you define headings, paragraphs, images, and other elements, but HTML alone won't give your website the appealing look you desire. It's just black and white text, and that's where CSS comes in. CSS, or cascading style sheets, is like the fashion stylist of the web. It gives your website its unique look and feel. It's all about aesthetics, controlling layout, colors, fonts, and other visual elements. So if HTML is the skeleton, CSS is the skin and clothes that make the website attractive to visitors. Now we've got an attractive, structured website, but it's static. It doesn't interact with users. That's where JavaScript steps in. JavaScript is the brains behind the operation, adding interactivity and functionality. It can update and change both HTML and CSS and even react to what the user does. So if HTML is the skeleton and CSS is the skin and clothes, JavaScript is the personality that makes the website engaging and dynamic. Here's a simple analogy. Think of building a website like building a house. HTML is the bricks and mortar, creating the structure. CSS is the paint and decor, making it visually appealing, and JavaScript is the electricity, plumbing, and heating system, making the house functional and comfortable to live in. These three elements, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, work together to create a functional, attractive, and interactive website. Each has its own role, but they're most powerful when used in conjunction. Like a well-oiled machine, they work together to create the user experience on the web. With a grasp on these basics, you're ready to start building your own website. Now you have the tools you need, so let's get started on building your first website. The first step in building a website is defining the structure with HTML, or hypertext markup language. It's the backbone of any web page, dictating how text, images, and other elements are organized. Think of HTML as the skeleton of your website. It's not the prettiest part, but without it, you wouldn't have anything to hold your site together. Start by creating an HTML file. Begin with the doc type declaration, which tells the browser what version of HTML you're using. For most purposes, you'll want to use HTML5, denoted by. Following this, we have the root element, the tag. Everything else goes inside this. Next, include the head section, marked by, which contains meta information about the web page. This is where you link your CSS and JavaScript files, set the page's title, and other housekeeping tasks. After the head comes the body, enclosed in tags. This is where the main content of your web page goes. Now let's add some content. Use different HTML tags, like for a main heading, for a paragraph, and for images. Remember, HTML is all about structure and content, not about making things look pretty. That's where CSS comes in. CSS, or cascading style sheets, is like the skin and clothes of your website. It's what makes your website look good. You can control the layout, colors, fonts, and more with CSS. It's a powerful tool that can turn a plain HTML document into a beautifully designed web page. Start by creating a CSS file and linking it in your HTML file's head section. CSS uses selectors to apply styles to specific elements. For example, if you want all your tags to be blue, you'd write H1 color blue in your CSS file. Play around with different properties to get the look you want. Remember, CSS is all about design, so don't be afraid to experiment and get creative. Finally, we have JavaScript, the brains of your website. It adds interactivity and functionality. If HTML is the skeleton and CSS the skin and clothes, JavaScript is the muscles, allowing your website to do things. Like with CSS, start by creating a JavaScript file and linking it in your HTML file's head section. JavaScript uses functions to perform tasks. For example, you might write a function to change the text of a paragraph when a button is clicked. JavaScript can be complex, but it's also incredibly powerful, so take your time to learn it. Remember, building a website is like building a house. You start with the foundation, HTML, add the walls and paint, CSS, and then install the plumbing and electricity, JavaScript. Each step is important and contributes to the final product. As you work through these steps, don't get discouraged if things don't look perfect right away. Web development is a process, and it takes time to get things just right. Keep experimenting, keep learning, and most importantly, keep building. Congratulations! You've built your first website. Building a website is just the first step. Improving your skills is the next. In the world of web development, standing still is not an option. The landscape is always evolving, new technologies are emerging, and best practices are continually being refined. To keep up, you'll need to commit to ongoing learning. Here are a few strategies to help you level up your skills. 1. Practice, practice, and practice some more. Web development is a craft. Just like a musician or an athlete, you need to practice regularly to keep your skills sharp. Whether it's coding a new feature, debugging an issue, or just experimenting with a new technology, every minute you spend coding will make you a better developer. 2. Keep up with the latest trends. Technologies and methodologies in web development are changing at a rapid pace. Stay current by following industry news, reading blogs, attending webinars, and participating in relevant forums. This will not only keep you informed about the latest tools and techniques, but also give you a broader perspective on where the industry is heading. 3. Learn from others. There's a vast community of web developers out there, and each one has something unique to offer. Participate in code reviews, join open source projects, or find a mentor. You'll be surprised at how much you can learn by simply observing and interacting with other developers. 4. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Trial and error is a part of the learning process. Don't let the fear of making mistakes discourage you. Instead, treat each mistake as a learning opportunity. Analyze what went wrong and use that knowledge to avoid similar issues in the future. 5. Last but not least, never stop learning. Web development is a field where there's always something new to learn. So keep that curiosity alive, keep exploring, and keep pushing your limits. Remember, the more you practice and learn, the better you'll become. So keep honing your skills, and soon you'll see remarkable improvement in your web development prowess. Before we wrap up, we have a small request. We've been on an incredible journey today, decoding the world of web development together. If you found this content valuable and want to keep learning with us, why not subscribe to the Programmer 10101 channel? Your subscription helps us grow and allows us to keep delivering quality content just like this. But don't stop there, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Are there any web development topics you'd like us to cover next? Any tips or tricks you found helpful? Drop a comment below and let's get a conversation going, and if you think this video could benefit someone else, don't hesitate to share it. The more, the merrier. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It's a simple way to show your appreciation, and it really makes a difference. Remember, every like, comment, and share counts. Thank you for your support, and happy coding.